Welcome everyone for another round of Planet Nomads, and we're back after a little holiday break from it. I did take some time to start work on the next level because this is going to be the hangar bay level, and right now I kind of feel like I need to go a little bit further forward. This way my goal or my vision was to have a very far out piece here to accommodate much larger landing pads above, so we got plenty of room, but I don't want it to be like way too long. And wow, this is a really heavy storm right now. Can't even see any of my other stuff over there. Can't see the black toad. Oh, it's just out of nowhere. But I did do some adjusting down here. Let's do a quick look. I put in, instead of a full wall here, I decided to go with glass. Now, of course, I did have to do a little switch up here for the doorway, and I decided I want to do just the regular wall because who wants to be stepping out of their hotel room and have somebody looking at them coming up the stairs, you know? So I did that, but I did complete all the lighting, and it's interesting. You can see how there's some dark spots basically where it's not quite covering it, but at the same time, there's the spots where it's crossing over between two of them and getting very bright. Like that is high enough that it's got a little bit of a dark spot there, just like that one. So I don't know what I'm gonna do to fix that. I really don't want to put in another one on some of these. And for the most part, this is just right where it's not blinding. Like this actually is comfortable to look at instead of it being too bright in certain places. And now the storm has subsided, so what I want to have is really, I want the bays to feel separated. Each hangar bay to be its own little extension out. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like they're just, little pods where they're completely separate in the back. So it's kind of weird on how I want to make it work. I also decided I want to have a black enclosure area, so the whole thing is darker inside, nice contrast to the white everywhere else, but I didn't want to show black ceilings on all this, so I raised it up a level, which means basically we're going to have like this level here, and we're going to have some kind of walkout section that leads up to it, and then you're going to step up into the hangar bay through a doorway, and that's pretty much what's going to happen. We're going to have some kind of separate hallway that goes along and then connects into the hangar bays themselves. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle the corners right here between the different hangar bays, but that is a test right there. And then it leaves this little gap here, and the idea for the gap in the corners on this is I'm going to put something here, maybe do something with like this type texturing that covers up to a certain point. And then I'm going to have a stack column that comes out with air blades on each corner, because I would like to have a set of air blades on this level of the design that are meant to cover the hovering aspect. So if you just want to be floating in the air, minimal power, it will be these air blades that support that functionality, hopefully. I may not have enough room for that, but that's what I'm going to go for. Well, it's not done as far as the length, but you can see what I mean by it's like a hangar bay. You're going to fly in, you're going to get in here, have enough room for a smaller ship to turn around, get in place, and then go down, done. Probably add some kind of locking mechanism maybe that when it lands, a rotor that switches around to lock it in, maybe have something like that in here. And then again, just having... I was thinking actually just 2 storage containers in each one, but now because of space, I might actually try to do 4 storage containers on each one. That'll give more storage in the end. So the second design I would like to have vehicle-wise for this may actually be problematic, because I'm not sure how I'm going to make this work, and I'm hoping we'll have somebody on the workshop that create something to make this work. But the idea is I want to have a deployable mining rig with storage container on it. So you have something that's like, even if it's just a single mining rig attached to it, I want to have something that goes down and uses either the winch system or the rotor with some locking bars to hold it, that basically you turn off that deploying the mining rig with the storage and solar panels, much like the ones I've got over there, on a mining site. And then once you disconnect, the actual transport vehicle lifts upwards and off. And looking at this, that is not going to be enough height. So yeah, good thing I tested that, because that means now instead of having all of this like this, I need to go up another level right there and see how high it is. And even then, now granted, I won't be trying to lift off of that. The idea is I want to have it where when this is landed down, you can just fly up and over and drop it off like a little, you know, dropped setup. And then normally the transport vehicle would slide all the way down and have some locking mechanism to lock in down here around where the solar panels are. So you really would end up still having, like, let's say the cockpit is where's the cockpit on these? Did I take them out? I haven't built anything like that in a while. I may have, yeah, I think I got rid of the cockpit from the design, the hot bar. So let's see, we'll do nice, do glass one, because you know you won't be able to see clearly. So let's just say that it is mounting up around that point, you know, right there like that. Then, you know, you're gonna have some air blades here. This is just enough to kind of fly in without hitting things too much, turn around, land, and then while you're down here, be like, all right, let me grab my mover tool. I'm gonna snag that and basically, you know, come over here and dock it in on a dropped down connection point, or even just a connection point that's along the floor here to allow it to connect in. I really wish I could have it a little bit lower, because the transport truck design will be fine, but it's this one that's going to be the problem because of the height level. Again, somebody may come in and say, hey, I got you a design that is shorter, will work better, make it a lot easier, and I could then just completely retool things. So it might be actually worth it to start worrying more about the designs themselves on the vehicles before I commit to this height level. I mean, yes, it gives a nicer, fuller look to it, like a big hangar bay, but at the same time having something that comes down from the ceiling to hold the cargo containers may not work quite so well. I would like to be able to avoid having to fly to do that, but you know what, no, we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna stick with this. That it does give a nice visual look to it, that big hangar bay look. And this might actually help a little bit with the stairwell. Well, it's not pretty necessarily, but it is at least a basic idea for the design. We've got a little truck bed here, and I'm kind of thinking, you know, we'll do a few more spots on it, maybe you know, lock-in wise. But basically this is all I'm going for, you know, just something simple like that. And you'll just basically grab the mover tool, move this out onto one of the other lock-in platforms. I'll probably use something similar to how I did in the power plant, and you'll just dock it in, and then you'll take an empty one and put it on the truck bed. And so the truck is only going to be doing a short trip, and because of that, what I think I want to do is I'm going to load this section up with batteries, because something I haven't done is try to do a vehicle that is just battery charged and recharges whenever it lands. So it'd be like each of these will be assigned to a certain hangar bay, and when it lands, it connects back into the power switch, which recharges the batteries. And so basically it's just a very short, get out there, do its job, and come right back type of design. And here we go, moment of truth. Is this going to just crash horribly, or is it actually going to fly a little bit? Oh, something kicked up. It's not floating. Oh, yes, is it? Well, did not float the way I was hoping it would. So I got it leveled out at least a little bit without the, you know, storage container on it. Yeah, this is why I do not tend to build vehicles, just because of the physics involved with that and the weirdness that happens sometimes with that. It definitely feels like stuff doesn't fit quite the way it should. And why is that off? Why did my hover turn off? I noticed if you get too close to something, even if you don't step on it, it turns the hover function off, which is so weird. All right, so we're gonna have to do steering. I'm just gonna do the top side steering. And I cannot remember. It's been a long time since I've messed with something like this, trying to get it to work. Okay, there we go. I've got something that at least lets me turn. Yeah, still can't go forward or backwards. That's... yeah, okay, forward, I think. It looks like, you know, if I press forward, it's going to rotate in the right direction. I wish it would not turn that off as soon as you look away. Like, that adds so much lag that it does when it does that, and not like the same way when you're doing lights or power switches. Oh, I can't just leave that on. It's not as controllable as I would like, but it does at least work. And you notice I'm actually, like, I'm moving over that way instead of just turning. I am going to have to play with this a good bit. But at least I have it working now, where maybe I can get over here and land. Yeah, maybe this is going to work. I don't have to be on top of that platform. I just need a spot to sit. Can I land here, please? Hey, I made it. All right, and I've got air blades on their own power, and then the batteries and what will be the battery recharge there. So basically that stays on the whole time. So when you land, it will recharge the batteries and then feed the power off that. And that short little bit drained them all down 25%. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a few more battery packs on that. But that's going to be it for this episode of Planet Nomads. A lot of testing I have to do. And again, if you are a creator and do stuff for the workshop, I need a design that can basically carry and deploy a standalone mining rig with a, you know, large storage container sticking out of it, where that storage container is movable separately, so you can move it with the tool, dock it in one of the docking spots, and then put an empty one in there, and then just take that whole vehicle, go out there, drop it off, fly the main vehicle back. So if that is a challenge you'd like to go ahead and mess with, go ahead and do so, and you can just send me a, you know, link in a comment below, or just say what the name is on the workshop, and I'll try to keep an eye on the workshop too. But like I said, that's it for this episode. So if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, let me know what you think of the work so far, and of course hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I'll see you in the next video.